from Bellows Falls, Vermont, the metropolis of Bellows Falls. We're pleased to have Dylan Patrick Ward.
If I was a cat, I'd sit in the window and I would lick my butthole while you watch TV. And if I was a cat, I'd sit down beside your head and lick the space between my toes when you were trying to sleep. And if I was a cat, I'd lay down by the door and look up at you with sad eyes when you tried to leave. If I was a cat and you were feeling sad, I'd sit down beside you and keep you company. If I was a cat, I'd eat a bunch of plastic, and then you'd have to chase me down and take it from my mouth. And if I was a cat, I'd chase all the bugs around, but I would never catch a one and I'd never catch a mouse. If I was a cat, I'd cry outside the bathroom door and I would not stop crying until you came back out. And if I was a cat, on lazy Sunday afternoons, you and I would take a nap together on the couch. And I would miss the beer, and I would miss the movie theater, and I would miss the human food, and I'd miss having sex. And I'm not so crazy about dying when I'm 13, but I guess I wouldn't know no better, and I guess that would be best. And if I was a cat and you had people over, I'd hiss at all the children, swat at the old guys. And if I got outside, I would fight a dog, and I'd get uglier and meaner with each year that went by. And I'd hate every person and every other cat and every animal and thing that wasn't you. One day you would find me dead behind the futon, and then you'd stick me in an urn and go get someone new. First you'd cry, just like I cry when you would capture me and take me to the vet. If I was a cat, I'd be miserable and lazy, but you would still love me because I was your pet. If I was a cat, I would drive you crazy, but you would still love me because I was your pet. 1 second, I left my water over there. I was just so excited to share that with you. I left all my stuff over there. The song's called Little Green Men. Dad was in the army and your mom dropped out of college. You're working at a hotel, living at your dead aunt's house. You got a 4-year party and a whole lot of useless knowledge. You're one bad day away from emptying your bank account. Money's tight, but you're always at the bar. Those are UFOs, not shooting stars. You're a real nice guy and everyone like you. You're not bad looking and people always say you're smart. There ain't much about life left to excite you. You got a new beer belly, gray hairs, and a broken heart. You hold your breath every time you start your car. You get upset every time you can't see Mars. Got a cousin down south who thinks that the world is ending, but he's got guns and dry goods to see him through. And you can't think of a message that's worth sending to the little green men who are looking after you. You hear a little voice outside the bar telling you to stay right where you are. So I wrote a song about Richard Nixon. And I've always, like, my whole life I've been pretty interested in Nixon, but he's always been kind of a peripheral figure in my life. I never really delved too deep into him, but lately I've become a bit of an amateur Nixonologist in preparation of writing this song. And if anyone wants some good, like, Nixon book recommendations, you can talk to me after the show, and I'll direct you towards a couple. Anyways, this song's called "Oh Nixon." Oh Nixon, I'm a lot like you, bitter and resentful, no matter how well I do. Oh Nixon, is it ever enough? Can we ever just appreciate it? Can we ever just lighten up? Jackie tried to warn you there's no peace in the presidency. You end up with your head blown off or resigning on TV. Oh Nixon, you never did fit in. The Franklins of your day, or the Yale boys at the CIA. Oh Nixon, you were too low class. You had to do their dirty work. You always had to kiss their ass. You could win it in a landslide, and it still feels like defeat. And it all tastes so bitter. Things looked so sweet. Oh Nixon, standing by the Citgo sign, flying the double V's. Oh Nixon, will there ever be peace? Oh Nixon, oh Nixon. Thank you. So I'm turning 30 this year, very soon actually. felt like I was 22, and then I was 29. I don't know what the hell happened. But this is a song about some of the things that I got into. Well, it's not about it. It was inspired by some of the things I got into when I was a much younger man. It's called Weird Night. Fell asleep in a blind man's arms. It was a weird night. Woke up next to a mastiff dog. It was a weird night. There were cigarettes and the birthday cake. 2 men came and took Joey away. Now sitting in a diner at 5 a.m. hoping that he's alright. It was a weird night. It was a weird night. He got 2 less teeth and 2 new tats. It was a weird night. Guy with a red hat, guy with a blue hat got into a fist fight. Tom took a trip out to outer space, and then he tried to rip all the skin from his face. And if we hadn't tied his wrists up, he might have scratched away his eyesight. It was a weird night. It was a weird night. Spent the night in the laundromat with her clothes all wet with rain, wondering why each night turns out the same. We could really use some Chinese food, or really any food at all. Gotta get my shit together. Gotta get my shit together. Well, the night that you left and you didn't come back, it was a weird night. The bathroom mirror was full of cracks, and I stared into it all night, wondering where you had gone and what it was that I'd done wrong. Well, I guess you meant it when you said that you were done with this life. It was a weird night. It was a weird night. It was a weird night. When I go back there, I can see you all. When I come up here, I can't. I'm gonna do a few more. This is a song about more about what my life is like now. It's a song about a sleeping medication I was on for a little while. It's called Zolpidem. Zolpidem, you worm your way into the hearts of men. I try to hate you, but I can't pretend, 'cause in the end I'll come crawling back to you. Zolpidem, you got me sleeping in the chair again. You got me drooling on the couch cushion, 'cause I know it's a sin to ask so much of you. But I remember what it was like, just laying in bed all night, with bloodshot eyes, till you heard my cries. Zolpidem, so much better than melatonin. I swear I'll never waste my time again with Tylenol PM. It's you and only you. Zolpidem, I'm nodding off behind the wheel again. I'm losing touch with what is real again. They say you're no friend, but I know it's not true. Some folks dream of heaven, but all I want good night's sleep for eternity without Zolpidem. I hate you, Zolpidem. I love you, Zolpidem. I love you, Zolpidem. So I've got some CDs for sale out there. I recently bought, for the first time, I bought a car that is new enough that does not have a CD player in it. Which I feel like is a good sign. Things are looking up for me. It's the first car I've ever had that has Bluetooth capabilities, and I was using it the other day and remembering being a kid in my dad's like old beater cars with the tape deck, and then one time he had like this thing that was shaped like a tape that you could stick in there, and then you could plug other things into it. And I had a Walkman in my lap in the passenger seat plugged into this thing into the tape deck so that we could listen to Slipknot in the car. So yeah, you know, those are the good old days. I've got CDs, I've also got stickers out there. And the stickers have Rusty the Snowman on them. And Rusty the Snowman is the character that I created. He's kind of like my Mickey Mouse, although on a much smaller scale, financially. He was born when I wrote this song, and it's called Rusty the Snowman. Rusty the Snowman was made out of slush in a yard by the side of the road. An old Newport light butt hung from his mouth. Rocks were his eyes and his nose. And the kids found a hat in the dumpster out back of the pharmacy on their way home. Put it on his head, and the snowman, he said, life's a bitch, and we all die alone. Rusty the Snowman smoked, and he drank, and liked to watch court shows all day. He said life is sick, just an old dirty trick that only a cruel God would play. Thought it'd be nice just to be some ice, a puddle, or an old gray cloud. And he dreamt of the day when he'd melt away and sink like rain into the ground. Christmas and New Year's have both gone by. So at Valentine's Day, one little girl came to say her goodbye with a sad little look on her face. She said, Rusty, I know that you're a prick, but even so, I wish there was a way you could stay. So to please her, he moved into the freezer, and that's where he lives to this day. Rusty the Snowman, Rusty the Snowman. Rusty the Snowman. I drink a lot of water because I say a lot of words in my songs. Goodness. All right, I'm going to play one more. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Mark, and everyone else who put this together. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to play one more song, and we're going to get everybody else back up here, and we're going to do one together. So I'm from Bellows Falls, Vermont. Just a little bit about the town, a little story that kind of illustrates what it's like. I was driving home a couple weeks ago at like midnight, and I stopped at 7-Eleven to get some combos. And as I was waiting in line, there was a fox just outside looking in through the glass door, and it freaked me out, and I just tried to pretend that it wasn't there because it was really bizarre. But the lady in front of me was leaving, and she got freaked out and came in and was like, "There's a fox." And then the guy behind the counter said, "Oh, that's all right. He's here for me." And he grabbed one of the hot dogs out of the rotisserie thing. I guess at 7-Eleven, it's not really a rotisserie. It's like that weird like conveyor belt. He grabbed one of those and threw it out, and the fox grabbed it in its teeth and ran away. So that's Bellows Falls. As you drive into town, as you drive downtown, there's a big mural that says Bellows Falls, a friendly place to hang your hat. And this song's called A Friendly Place. Homeless people set up shop in the Chinese buffet parking lot. Old men drinking paps down at the park. Dirty barefoot kids with pop guns terrorize the pharmacy. Just make sure you get home before dark. Drinking vodka by the handle. Yuppies wearing socks with sandals. School board meetings, Facebook come to life. QAnon and revolution, everyone's got their solution that they'll tell you all about tonight. Ooh. Carney's selling glowing hats in an alley full of feral cats. Fireworks light up the skies at night. Severance pay for crooked cops. Slumlords buy up vacant lots. Buprenorphine makes you feel alright. Artists drinking gin and tonic. Old arcades become ironic. Football team just got another win. Public access TV stations full of doomsday revelations. Ice cream parlors still raking it in. Ooh. Swimming hole that's full of trash. E. coli and broken glass. Laundromat where all the deals go down. Cumby's Pizza, Natty Ice, Velveeta on minute rice, Black Bear roaming free around the town. Temporary traffic light, local taverns open mic, lovers quarrel, fist fight in the square. Basketball hoops with no nets, ban on menthol cigarettes, nowhere local to buy underwear. Scholarships for bright young kids doing what their parents did. Old folks on the porches griping things just ain't the same. Turtle sandbox, wiffle bat, Shriners with their little hats. Old bathtub fills up with summer rain. Thank you so much. Buy a CD. Sign up for my email list. Thank you.
Let's give it up one more time. Dylan Patrick Ward.